Solo queue is by far the hardest thing in DBD. Between the lack of comms mixed with the selfishness of some teammates, it can truly feel like a miserable experience. But today, I'm going to be showing you guys 5 builds you can bring to the trial that can help you play at your best while also hopefully escaping way more consistently. Starting off with our first build, it's going to be a sprint burst / anti-tunnel build. I have shown this build off in a past video, but I can't help but recommend it again, as it comes with everything you would need to escape the trial. The perks for this build consist of sprint burst, fixated, blood rush, and off the record. Sprint burst is a Meg Thomas teachable and gives you an extra 50% haste when you go into a sprint. You will then be exhausted for 40 seconds after its use. This perk is easily one of the best perks for Survivor and is completely free right off the bat. Also, since there isn't really any conditions to be met, this is just one of the best exhaustion perks in the game that allow you to escape from a dead zone without having to vault a window or fall from a great height. You can just instantly run and get out of there. This will allow you to avoid a killer getting a free hit, or worse, them getting a free down. Also, thanks to our second perk, Fixated, we'll be able to position ourselves, move around the map, and even play off Sprint Burst even better. The perk I'm talking about is Fixated, and this is a Nancy Wheeler teachable, and she is from the Stranger Things DLC. This perk allows you to walk 20% faster, which to a lot of people doesn't sound like much, but it actually gives you so many different advantages. You can save your sprint burst, you can get fast folds easier, you can position yourself better around pallets, and overall you just loop more consistently. It also comes with the ability to see your own scratch marks, but I don't really know how helpful that's going to be, but you know, I thought I'd just throw it in there since it's what the perk does. Now to get to the anti-tunnel part of the kit, starting off with Blood Rush. This is a Hanato teachable from the Tools of Torment DLC. Blood Rush is an anti-tunnel perk, which means it activates once you're unhooked, and it will deactivate in either 60 seconds or once you do a conspicuous action. Once you're exhausted, you can activate Blood Rush, and it allows you to use your exhaustion perk again immediately. So Blood Rush and Sprint Burst basically are just a perfect combo because you can Sprint Burst right off the hook if the killer's coming for you, and gain a bunch of distance that way, but the moment that they catch up to you, you can just sprint burst again. Once they do finally catch up to you, that's where our fourth perk comes into play, Off the Record. This is a Zarina teachable from the Chain of Hate DLC, and this perk also activates once you're unhooked. You gain 80 seconds of endurance until you do a conspicuous action, but even if you do a gen, you get to have 80 seconds of Iron Will where you're completely silent, and on top of that, no aura reading perks the killer has will work during those 80 seconds. Off the Record comes with 3 great things that just make it a monster of a perk. Second build is a Deliverance build that comes with heals and anti-tunnel. The perks you're going to need are Deliverance, Kindred, Will Make It, and Dead Hard, or really any anti-tunnel perk of your choice. I personally choose Dead Hard because this way it doesn't just disappear after I do a gen. First perk is Deliverance, and this is an Adam Francis teachable, and this perk activates once you safely unhook a survivor. Which means until you get that unhook, you should be playing really safe and try to avoid killer interaction as much as possible. Once it's active though, you can literally play as aggressive as you want because the killer hooking you literally means nothing. It is just time wasted from them. This is because Deliverance allows you to unhook yourself guaranteed, but it does come with the cost of you being broken for 80 seconds, which is why I recommend bringing an anti-tunnel perk just in case, which in this case is why I brought Dead Hard, which comes into play, but Off the Record or DS are also great options. Dead Hard is a David King teachable, and this allows you to activate 0.5 seconds of endurance whenever you are injured. So basically, as long as you can time it right, you gain an extra health state. Third perk is Kindred, and this perk is completely free. When someone is hooked, you gain the ability to see the killer's aura 16 meters away from that hook, and you also can see all survivors around the map. This gives you the best possibility of getting a safe unhook on that survivor so you can actually activate Deliverance. Also, when you are hooked, the same thing applies for the other survivors. All survivors can see each other, and the killer is highlighted to them as long as it's within 16 meters of you. Final perk is Will Make It, and this is also a free perk. Once unhooking a survivor, you gain a 100% healing speed buff to the other survivors for 90 seconds. I brought this because, you know, you're already going to be going for unhooks. You might as well be able to reset the team fast too and get rid of any pesky anti-heal perks. Third build we're going to be using is Girl Deli or Wicked. I recommend bringing the offering that makes basement spawn in shack, so that way you can loop a really strong structure before you go down and be brought in basement. The perks needed for this are Wicked, Decisive Strike, Strength in the Shadows, and either Body Knowledge or Dead Hard. Body Knowledge combos off Strength in the Shadows better for better self-heal, and Dead Hard basically provides better anti-tunnel. So whichever you prefer, really. Whatever sounds more appealing to you. Wicked is a Sable Ward teachable, and this allows you a guaranteed way to unhook yourself as long as you're in basement. Also, unlike Deli, you will not be broken for 80 seconds after unhooking yourself. This perk does come with a secondary action as well, and that's when you unhook yourself or get unhooked, you can see the killer's aura for 20 seconds. Since tunneling's happening a lot, I personally brought Dead Hard and Decisive to come with me. Dead Hard we went over already. It's a Dave and Kig teachable that allows you to activate 0.5 seconds of endurance while you're injured. Decisive Strike, however, is a Laurie Strode teachable, and this perk activates once you are unhooked as well. Or, in this case, when you unhook yourself. It will then stay active for 60 seconds or until you do a conspicuous action. Once the killer downs you and picks you up within those 60 seconds, you will have to hit a hard skill check, but if you're able to hit it, the killer gets stunned for 4 seconds. That gives you plenty of time to make distance, and Dead Hard is there on top of it to provide another chance of wasting the killer's time, basically. If you hit it, that's awesome, but if you miss it, it's no biggie. You got DS value anyway. You wasted plenty of time. Final perk is Strength in the Shadows, which is again a Sable Ward teachable and allows you to heal at 70% speed while in the basement. Figure I'd throw this into the build because since you're going to be looping Shack, which is a strong structure, I wouldn't be surprised if the killer injures you and then leaves you, which then you could just reset yourself immediately without having to waste another teammate's time. They can keep doing gens while you self-heal. Fourth build is a team reset build. Every team needs a healer, and in this case, you're going to be that person resetting the team and stopping the killer from ever slugging anybody. The perks needed for this build are Autodidact, I know that sounds weird, just let me cook, Solidarity, Resurgance, and Empathy. Autodidact is an Adam Francis teachable and is a token-based perk, which are always annoying to explain. Basically, the way this perk works is every time you hit a skill check while healing somebody, you gain a token, and it increases a burst of healing speed by 15%. Meaning at 0 tokens, you're going to heal at negative 15%, 1 token you do 0%, 2 tokens is 15%, 3 tokens is 30%, 4 tokens is 45%, and 5 tokens is 60%. So it offers a huge amount of burst heals and doesn't rely on things like increased healing speed. So what does that mean having an anti-heal perk doesn't affect Autodidact? Well, the 5 tokens that you get, that 60% burst healing, is guaranteed no matter what. That means Leverage doesn't stop it, Sloppy Butcher doesn't stop it, Chlorophobia doesn't stop it, nothing affects that 60% guaranteed burst healing. So it is a huge counter in this meta for those perks. Second perk is Solidarity, which is a Jane teachable. This causes all healing you do to others to give you 70% of that healing progress back to you, which again perfectly counters this anti-heal meta and saves so much time from perks like Leverage. Third perk is Resurgance, and this is a Jill Valentine teachable. This perk activates once you're unhooked and immediately gives you 70% of your healing progress. So if someone's injured and unhooks you, you should actually be healing them to combo this with Solidarity. That means while you're healing them, you two are going up a health state and you're both healed up within seconds. It's a super fun combo, and I strongly recommend trying those two out. And final perk is Empathy, which allows you to hunt down injured survivors, get your Autodidact tokens, and just keep the team fully healthy and avoid this future of like slugging. Fifth and final build is a full aura reading build. This basically gives you all the info you could possibly need and makes up for the whole lack of comms part of the game. The perks needed for this build are Bond, Windows of Opportunity, Kindred, and Open-Handed. I first want to talk about Open-Handed though, and that's because it comes with a huge buff to all the other perks mentioned. Open-Handed is an ace teachable, and this causes all of aura reading perks to be increased by an extra 16 meters. This perk is insane, which you could probably already tell from the video, but it doesn't just buff you, it buffs all your teammates' aura reading perks as well. Second perk is Bond, and this is a Dwight teachable. Bond allows you to see all teammates from 32 meters away, but since we brought Open-Handed, again, it's going to extend that by an extra 16 meters, meaning all teammates from 48 meters away are able to be seen. So basically, you can just see everybody from across the map. This gives insane info like knowing where chases are being taken place, where the injured survivors are at so you can reset them, people to find so you can get healed, and doing gens with another person, taking a hit, getting a flashlight save, so pretty much a ton of different plays can be made thanks to this perk. Third perk is Windows of Opportunity, and this is a Kate Denson teachable that allows you to see all pallets, windows, and breakable doors from 32 meters away. But again, the extra 16 meters turns it into 48 meters away, so basically you have all the options in the world and can see everything. Dead zones will become a complete thing of the past using this build. Fourth and final perk is Kindred. This perk is completely free and activates once someone is hooked or you are hooked. If you're the one hooked, all survivors are able to see each other, and the killer's aura is revealed from 16 meters away from the hook. Open-Handed actually works on this perk as well and extends that 16 meters to 32 meters away. Being able to see the killer from 32 meters away from the hook basically guarantees that you're going to be unhooked safely. Some people might impress you and mess up, but most people won't. Hope you guys were able to find a build to your liking, and hopefully your games are much better within solo queue. Feel free to let me know what your favorite build may be while playing solo queue as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.